Fergus Crane by Paul Stewart and Chris Riddell, read by Stephen Pacey. Chapter 1.
"Your homework for tonight, me hearties, children," said Mr. Spicer, absent-mindedly playing with the large gold hoop that dangled from his left ear, "is to read Chapter 13 of Practical Potholing for Beginners."
The class gave a low groan. Outside, seagulls flapped noisily round the returning fishing boats, while the coal barges moored to the quayside bobbed up and down on the light swell. Inside, the classroom of the school ship Betty Jeanne was hot and stuffy and full of slowly nodding heads. "Will another one come tonight?" Fergus Crane was wondering sleepily. "And if it does, will I be able to stay awake long enough to find out?" The gently swaying classroom became hotter and stuffier than ever. Fergus's eyelids grew heavy, his eyes closed, and "Weep!" The shrill sound of the boatswain's whistle echoed down the corridors, announcing the end of school. Fergus's eyes snapped open. It was 4 o'clock. At last! He was out of his chair and away before the whistle had even faded. He didn't hear Mr. Spicer telling the class that there'd be a test tomorrow, nor his friends calling their goodbyes, nor even Bolivia, the headmaster's parrot, squawking something at him as he ran down the gangplank. All Fergus could think about was getting home and waiting at his bedroom window for midnight. Chapter 2. Fergus headed off along the canal. The heavy practical potholing for beginners and his empty lunchbox bounced about inside the backpack on his shoulders. His shoes clattered on the cobblestones. At the tall pointing statue of General Montmorency, he turned left and headed up into the labyrinth of narrow alleys. He hurried through square after familiar square, past fountains and sculptures, flower stalls and candy booths, and small candle-lit shops selling intricately carved wooden figures. Turning right at Old Mother Bleeny's bagel stand, Fergus emerged onto the bustling Boulevard Archduke Ferdinand, with its tall, slightly shabby buildings. Wall-eyed Ned was in his usual spot in front of the Archduke Ferdinand Theatre. Head down, he was marching back and forth, the sandwich board strapped to his body, advertising the new show in town. This month it was a musical farce entitled The Cycling Fish. "Afternoon, Ned," Fergus called.
"Afternoon, Fergus,"
Ned replied without looking up. Further along the road, the air swirled with mournful music. Fergus smiled at old Antonio, the hurdy-gurdy man, with his chestful of medals and curling moustache. His monkey, Pepe, dressed in a suit of red and yellow satin, jumped down from the wheezing barrel organ and scampered towards Fergus. It seized the tasselled fez from its head, held it out upside down, and let out a little screech. Fergus pulled out a handkerchief from his pocket, carefully unfolded it, and presented an almond macaroon to the monkey.
"Bless you, my boy,"
said Antonio, and, for a moment, as Fergus continued, the slow, mournful music speeded up. He passed familiar shops, Madame Amy's wedding gowns, H. Luscombe's umbrellas, Le Café Rondel, Joshua Berwick, bespoke tailor, and, as he hurried by, familiar faces appeared at the windows and waved or nodded. Everyone knew Fergus. Hannibal Luscombe saluted him with one of his umbrellas. Katrina, the waitress in Le Café Rondel, blew him a kiss. And as he passed Karpf, the jewellers, old Miss Wittering held up a half-eaten walnut eclair and winked. Yes, everyone knew Fergus. He was Lucia Crane's boy, who sometimes helped his mother at Biederbecker's cake counter. When they saw his face, Fergus's neighbours thought of glass counters full of cream horns, or chocolate macaroons, or strawberry slices, or, best of all, Archduke Ferdinand's classic Florentines. Little wonder they always smiled. At last, Fergus came to Biederbecker's bakery itself. Boris Biederbecker was a short, fat man with a
Sample complete. Ready to continue?